All right, and we are live. Okay, so let's give others a few time to hop on, and
Mhm.
let's just introduce ourselves. So I am Dr. Kastova. Welcome everyone to Futures with Dr. T, which is me. And then today we have one of our most favorite guests and my friend Catherine Davis, who is a survivor of fibromyalgia. Okay, and she has been here last time talking about the superpower of mushrooms, and we have a lot of us, a lot of the audience actually found it really interesting and useful. And I have had a lot of DMs saying that I never knew mushrooms could be so potent, you know. And then they also got like a glimpse on how we can take charge of our own health. And so I thought, well, that episode went really well, and I wanted you to hop on and then tell some more about, how can we design our own life, design our own health and wellness. Because, doctors, when we go to them, they either give you medication or they're like, there's nothing to do, just accept it. And I personally, I'm like, hell no, hell to the no.
Mhm.
I'm not the kind of person that I'll just accept whatever is told to me, because I know we are more potent, we are more capable of getting more out of our life rather than just following through what we are told. Okay, so
Completely. And to speak
let's
on
just start.
behalf of the doctors, it's not their fault.
Mhm.
By the time they've graduated, when they're practicing, they're already 20 years behind as far as medical science goes. And all of the new
Uh-huh.
information on leaky gut and gut health, it's just been within the last couple of years. So if your doctor's been practicing, he didn't learn any of this in school. They're actually only taught a very small portion about gut health. But today we
Mhm.
know our whole health is linked to the gut.
To
So
the gut.
we
Yeah.
gotta teach
So
ourselves.
yeah. So since you brought this up, I wanted to ask this thing. Okay. I personally did not know gut health was important. Okay. I wasn't taught in a specific way that gut health was important. But since I was working with my son, because I was a pharmacist. I am a pharmacist. Well, I am a registered pharmacist. I did my honors, masters, and PhD in pharmacy. Okay, so I had huge trust in what I was being taught. The power of medicine, the power of modern medicine,
Mhm.
and to some extent, I liked modern medicine because of the fast action. Because I have been all throughout my life struggling with allergies.
Mhm.
Okay, allergies, my nose will get blocked. Now also, since I came back to Bangladesh, I have been having really bad nose, and I have been on allergic medication, which I have not been touching for the last 2 years, two and a
Mhm.
half years that I was in Canada. Okay,
Your
so
air
what I
quality is
want to
down in Bangladesh. It's all
exactly
the
air
air
quality.
yes.
It's all the air quality. So I was like, since I was really ready to let go of the notions, the teachings and everything. What I find really angering, okay, is when a mother goes to the doctor and says that, do you think changing the diet of my child can help us? The doctor right away says, ha ha ha, no, things have not been, it's not being researched yet. So it has already been researched. We are seeing lots of publications. Okay, I have written lots of blog posts showing the references from real life research. Okay,
Mhm.
so what is their problem if they haven't been taught, if they haven't learned, accept it, and then just study on your own. That's
Yes.
it. You cannot push somebody. You cannot push a wrong idea or you're lacking on somebody's life because you are too egotistical to go back to school or to just spend a couple of hours at your home reading some new papers.
Mhm.
What is that? I don't find scientific or humanitarian validation to it, and hence I'm really angry on the medical system in general.
I leave it to how you're feeling. I was the same way. I mean, I had faith with my doctor with fibromyalgia and the medication, but when I wasn't getting better, and then I met the holistic friend and I was very hesitant, but he's like, just try and see how you feel. So I gave
Yeah.
him a month, and at the end of the month, I felt better. Where 3, 4 years with the doctor, if anything, it was
Hmm.
getting worse with the prescriptions and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
symptoms from the prescriptions. So you do. I mean, you have to
You
put the
do.
effort in, and when you get that reward of feeling better, I think that's the fuel to want to learn more. That was mine anyway, and I know the same with you getting the success with your son and yourself.
Yeah. That brings me to your first question. Okay. It's because today also, just this afternoon, I talked with one of the moms in our clarity call. So clarity call is something when a mom makes the decision that she thinks what I'm teaching is a little interesting and I can help. So she hops on a call with me. We call this clarity and reclaim. Why? Because in the call, I give them clarity on what the problem is and how far they can actually go. Because we
Mm-hmm.
are told that in Asian countries also, we take autism as a brain retardation. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
use a Bengali term called buddhi pratibandhi, which means the child intellectually is disabled. I mean, the child is intellectually disabled. So when a child gets that label, your child has autism, and then that's it. So the
But the
parent needs to
reminder
get
is,
the
who wants to be well in a society that is detrimentally sick, right? These kids have a special gift,
exactly.
and we need to look at it that way. And whatever we can do to
Mhm.
help them grow and appease them, I don't think life needs to be harder for them, but we do need to change as a society, educate ourselves, because they deserve the same quality of
Exactly.
life as anybody else.
Exactly. I don't understand why the so-called advocates also make it more harder for the parent to accept because they are like, no, if you are not accepting your child the way they are, you are a bad mom. Okay, right, right on the top. I was like, well, my son is sick. He's physically sick. He's emotionally also not feeling well because he's unhappy. He's crying, meltdown every few minutes. He's not sleeping. He's not eating. Just tell me he's happy. How can you see he's happy? And I
Mm.
have to accept him being unhappy. I cannot be that way. Okay. So which is why today I brought you in because a lot of moms need that courage, need that inspiration that we can design our own life. We can design our for us, for our kids, for our family. We can design our own wellness and health. Okay. So for
Mhm.
for you, my first question is how to take charge of your or your child's health, even when your doctor is saying there's nothing to be done.
The first thing I would say is just to stand strong in your advocacy for yourself. Um, at the end of the doctor's appointment, you're the one that goes home with your child. You're the one that deals with them on a daily basis or with your own personal health. And I'm always big, you can't pour from an empty cup. So, especially if you have a child that needs extra help, first you got to do extra with you. Mom needs to feel well. If you're hesitant about trying anything with your kid, definitely we should be our own experiment and try any supplement on yourself first, any diet changes on yourself first. Believe it or not, going gluten free or staying away from dairy, even without anything on the autism spectrum, it's still going to help you mentally. You're going to feel clearer, you're going to feel better. And the consistency is key in getting that feeling. And then also, if you online, everybody's online with COVID and everything. So I found a lot of holistic doctors. Dr. Tom O'Brien is very big on the autoimmune diet and being gluten free. All that information is free online. Get on Instagram and follow some holistic doctors. Dr. Mark Hyman, everything that Dr. Tasnuva was posting. Really just guard yourself and educate yourself, because when the doctor hears you speaking differently in the appointments, because I got disregarded at the beginning of my journey as well, where the doctor would shut down anything I said, even at the dentist when I was asking him about holistic dental care. But 2 or 3 years of me just keep plugging. My doctor talks supplements with me now. He won't even doesn't even recommend a prescription. So, and in like anything, when we're showing up a certain way, we're going to be perceived differently. So if the doctors know that, they can be like, oh, I don't know, and you're going to be like, well, okay. They see how many, five, six, 700
Ah,
people. It's just like being in
yeah,
school. If you're going to be in third
yeah,
grade and you're not going to listen to the teacher and you're not going to try, you go under the radar. So as a parent, You got to make sure those wings are extra wide. You're looking for the information you need. You're absorbing it and you're applying it, and you will receive much different instructions from your doctor when you've educated yourself and you come in there firm in what you want to know
Uh-huh.
from him.
I want to reiterate something because mostly when we go to the doctor, they have this aura of being supreme or superior to us, right? So when
Yes.
we go, we are meek, like, doctor, what should we do with our child? I mean, should I change diet? No! What? What are you saying? So we are like, oh, no, no, no. So it was, I just read something, it's just forget it. So it will be like
Well,
that. But if I'm like, no.
yes, to
So if
assure
I'm
all
like,
women,
no,
no,
mm-hmm,
to assure all
keep
women as
saying
a
it, maybe.
collective, the divine feminine is taking over the universal
Uh-huh.
energies, where for thousands of years it's been the masculine energy. So
Mm-hmm.
as a collective,
Yeah,
women are we're learning to own our voice and
more.
speak up right across the universe, and that's what we've always needed. The care
Yeah.
for the
So
kids, the
own up.
care for the people.
So for our audience, the first tip is to own your own voice. Is that if your gut says that you can do better, you certainly can do better. The
Mm-hmm.
second thing that you said so far is whenever you want to try something on your kid, if you are feeling hesitant, try on your own. In that point, I want to say something. You know what? For us, I didn't start the gluten-free, dairy-free thing on my son first. I did it on myself, and I actually got this idea from me trying to let go of my brain fog. Because right after the birth of my child, my daughter, I was raising both of them alone in Canada. I was sleep deprived, so to feel good, I would drink a lot of smoothies because I love milk. And I'm told that milk is good for you. It gives you calcium. If you drink milk, your kid will also drink milk. And you know what? My daughter started having hives, eczema. She would throw up after she would drink my milk. And I'm like, something is wrong with her. It never comes to our mind that something is wrong with us, whatever I am eating. I'm not digesting properly. So that food is coming to the breast milk, and then I'm feeding that to my daughter, and then that's why she's having all these issues. Never comes to us because nobody teaches us, and we're like, what is happening here with me? So what I did was I changed my own diet, and when I started feeling like I can fly, and I was so clear, not feeling angry, not throwing things at my husband, not feeling like I want to kill somebody. And then I was like, holy f, I need to try it on my son and daughter and see. So right away we stopped dairy, we stopped gluten first, and then at some point things weren't not moving that much. That's when we shifted to grain, and then I brought in some, detoxification more and other stuff. So yeah, thank you so much. So far, we have got two very important points, and we would like to go to the next one, your next question. Which before I go to the next question, do you have uh, any more points on taking the power of us when we are going to the doctor? Because we have a point here by somebody. We go to the doctor desperate that the doctor will have the answer to help us. I have found we do that. We do have to rely on ourselves. Yeah. So for those who
Yes.
haven't felt that urge, how can we do that?
Just write
Did you get my
down
question?
your questions. I know when we get into the doctor, we think about a lot of questions that we're going to ask, and like you said, when they have that energy about them, it's very easy to kind of cower down. You write out your questions, and I mean, just stay firm. Just continue to ask. That's what they're supposed to educate us on health, and then also by trying it yourself and getting the results like you did, definitely talking to your doctor when you're feeling better. And because also what they're taught, I mean, they also have the food guide for nutrition, and they believe solely in that. But I mean, geographically, people come from all over the world, and I don't think we should be able to access food because everybody's different, genetic. And there was a pediatrician years ago that found with kids that had a lot of issues was doing the elimination diet, because kids who Scandinavian background shouldn't be eating foods from like Greece and stuff. Like you got to be very careful with what you're eating. So I myself was the same. I have a lot of Irish background, but I love Italian food, tomatoes, and well, with the fibromyalgia and I guess with my heritage,
Mhm.
tomatoes cause immense amount of inflammation in my gut, which leads to the fibro issues. So just practicing on yourself, writing down your questions, and you cannot you gotta have the, I guess, just be trusting in your own intuition as a mother. We do come from, we're animals, we're mammals, and the universe is designed that a mother knows best for her children. So just really just hold on to that intuition, and I wouldn't back down. You are your own advocate, you're your child's advocate, and there's too many people out there that need help from the doctor, that if you're not demanding it, you're not going to get it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, you have to demand it. Okay. So moving on to the next question, which is very much connected to everything in general, because gut health is our main health. Because gut is what is producing the mood hormones, the sleep hormones, the immunity, as well as digesting and absorbing all the food that we eat. Right. So how do we heal inflammation and how do we heal our gut? If you would give us a small summary, it will be really helpful for us. Because you have healed yourself, you have healed
Inflammation.
your gut. Mm-hmm.
Yes, for myself, I had to heal my leaky gut. Leaky gut is the permeability on your intestines. So if you think of like a sausage casing, that's what our intestines are made of. It's thin. A lot of foods that we eat, toast, things that are toasted in particular, get to tearing that. If you don't have a gut friendly lifestyle, i.e., avoiding the dairies and stuff, anything inflammation like tomatoes, I have to be careful with lectins. So for me, I did a fast. I did a 3-day fast to clear out my gut, and then with the organo products, the reishi actually helps heal the gut permeability, which prevents leaky gut. So I made sure to get on
Mm-hmm.
the permeability diet to reinforce my insides before slowly integrating food back in, and making sure, like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when I wasn't paying attention, I was eating gluten, bagel for breakfast. You grab a muffin in the afternoon, pasta and garlic bread for dinner. Now that I'm educated and informed, I might treat myself to a carb like once a week. So because I know in my head, I know it takes like 3 months to heal your gut from one exposure the size of your pinky nail when it comes to gluten. So it's not worth
Can
it.
you
It takes
repeat
a
that
long
again?
time.
Can you repeat that again? Just repeat that
When
thing
you're
again.
living a gut friendly Yes, when you're living a gut friendly lifestyle and you accidentally get exposed to gluten as small as the size of your pinky nail, it can take you 3 whole months to get your gut, your insides, your intestinal lining, your inflammation, get your body back to pre-gluten exposure. 3 months. So when you're on the health
And
train and
that's
you
the
work really
answer.
hard, you don't want slip ups.
You don't want slip up. And that's the answer to those who DMs me or messages saying that I am gluten free. Isn't that enough? No, honey, it's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the
Carry on.
lifestyle,
Carry
and
on.
when you're feeling it,
Exactly.
you don't want to risk it.
You don't want to risk it. Exactly.
So
This morning
I
also,
used to
when I was
love
talking
going
to
out
the
to eat.
mother, mhm,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we are having some network issues because I cannot hear very smoothly, probably. Okay. Yes, 3 whole months, Nena. 3 whole months. It takes 3 whole months.
Yes.
That's why
Yes.
only going gluten free is not the answer. You have to be really, why grain free? Because the grains has a lot of carbs, the starches, which are really hard to digest, and we haven't got those capacities to digest the starch properly. Okay, so moving on to, and keep saying. Oh, there's another comment. Thanks, Papia, for finding it insightful. So let's just move on and keep saying what you were saying. Catherine.
Yes.
Okay.
So next question.
Yeah. No, no, no. You finished the gut healing part? I think there are more. Because you were just talking about
Oh,
the carb, going the carb way.
here. Does that help? Hear me better? Sorry, it keeps
Yes,
crackling with the headset.
I think
Okay.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Part of
Okay.
life.
Sorry, it was the headset. So yeah, the reishi itself is a prebiotic, which helps to create proper gut flora within the gut. When you flora, that good gut flora is going to eat toxins in your gut, like candida, when we expose ourselves to carbs. And when it eats the bad gut flora, the candida eats out nutrients that make our body healthy. When we don't have enough good, healthy gut flora from prebiotics and probiotics, what gets in there is the candida, which is the bad gut flora, the bad gut bugs, and they eat the good ones. And they eat the good ones, they create toxins. And long-term exposure of bad gut flora is what leads to these autoimmune conditions and helps drive the leaky gut. So reishi products are prebiotics, so I take those. They help line the gut. They help with the gut flora. They help do a gentle can cleanse. They are also gentle detox. So and then so the probiotics and the prebiotics, I make sure I take those daily. I've been on it for a year and a half, and I've been at the best I've been weight wise, health wise, dealing with my fibromyalgia. It's just been a fantastic implementation for living a friendly gut lifestyle.
Hmm. Okay. So somebody posted says, have you researched bacillus subtilis? Okay. Have you? Do you have idea about bacillus subtilis?
Is that for the like the magic mushrooms?
Well, that's not a mushroom. That's actually a bacteria. So the question probably, because if you guys want me to say your name, could you kindly just go to the link that is provided in the description and then just accept the link so that your name will be posted. Otherwise, I'll just have to say like, the name, the comments come here unless you just write the link. Okay. So yes, in natto, in Korean red kimchi, we have a lot of bacteria, and you don't have to be really specific about the bacteria. Okay, you don't really have to be specific about Bacillus subtilis or Clostridium, whatever. You just have to know that wherever you are, based on your area of environment, there are lots of bacteria living in those environments, and those are all symbiotically important for you. Okay, so nitpicking, just as the biomedical system does this, nitpicking specific toxins, whenever we go to those doctors who work on biomedically helping our child. So what they will do is they will do some blood testing, and then they will signal out 4 or 5 toxins. Okay, and then they will totally focus on those. So what happens is, we as human, our system is much more complex than just those 5 or 4 bacteria or toxins. We are numerously and continuously being exposed to thousands of toxins and millions of bacteria and different types of bacteria. So just focusing on one bacteria or 5 bacteria won't do the trick. You'll need to be exposed to different types of bacteria as multiple as possible, which is why I suggest whenever you are choosing a probiotic, make sure you have multiple strains in it. Okay. All right. So does colostrum really help to
More
heal gut?
night.
Yes, definitely.
For the fibromyalgia, you'd want to double up on your probiotics if you're already suffering from an autoimmune condition. So I take a 10,000 one in the morning, and then I take a different 5,000 one specifically for women with the added cranberry in the evening. I mean, can't. I mean, you can have too much. You can't have too much good gut bugs.
Good bacteria. Exactly. The only little side effect will happen is if you are taking too much, then you might have a little diarrhea, and that's okay. You are letting go of everything, and you're not having constipation. That should be good.
Yeah, cleaning
All
out.
right, that should be good. Okay, so here's a question. Somebody says, does colostrum really help to heal the gut?
Colostrum does heal the gut. Yes, it helps line. So in your gut, basically, your linings are all like little knuckles, like throughout your intestines. So there are actual little gaps in that that things can pass through. So the colostrum fills those. What I like to do for myself is I do a bone broth. So I take, good organic chicken, throw the bones in a crock pot, let it sit, and then I'll drink that on an empty stomach, and it pulls out the colostrum and the gelatins, and that will actually, it lines the interior wall of your gut. And the reishi as well helps with that permeability, helps tighten that seal. So when we're doing all that, your gut can basically become impenetrable as long as you're still following a healthy gut. Like as soon as you incorporate anything like toast, Dr. Tom O'Brien is famous for saying she loved grilled cheese. She kept saying she loved grilled cheese. Well, we'll put that on her tombstone. She loved grilled cheese because it's gonna kill you.
Yeah. That should be a meme if it is not already. Okay, because well, we if you want to try that, we have a 7 day detox program inside the group, the diet support, autism diet support. So if you search hashtag the autism diet, you will have, go down the post because it has been posted quite a while back. So you will have that 7 day detox in which I have shown a really step-by-step way how to make the bone broth because it's so good for our kids and for us. I have showed it already, so you can go and check that out. Okay. So moving on to the next question. All right. How can we design our diet and lifestyle? How can we design? Because we always get so scared and so afraid to do diet changes because we are like, oh my god, my child is sickly. Oh my god, I might not have enough money. Oh my god, organic is so expensive. And then if I'm letting go of carbs, what the hell am I going to eat? Or what the hell are my children going to eat? I'm going to be starving. All these questions comes up. So for us, having those questions, how can we design our life and diet and lifestyle?
Um, a big thing to switching our health is incorporating the healthy stuff. But just as important as contributing the healthy stuff is removing some of the things that are detrimentally not good for our health. So when it comes to adding in new stuff and you see the cost, yeah, it's very expensive. But if you look at the things that you won't be buying, like if you're going to commit to going a hard week to clearing out and doing a detox, if you're not buying milk and you're not buying cheese strings and you're not buying the goldfish crackers, all of that stuff that we waste. We're not going out to spend $40 on pizza this week. You actually free up a lot of money that you didn't realize by not buying the foods that you're not going to want to absorb anyway. So at the end of it all, even with my expensive supplements, we spend less on groceries because I don't want to put it in there if I know it's not going to help me. And this took a lot of trial and error. Like the first 8 months was, I can still eat pizza, or I'm craving a donut. And after I did the hard detox in the beginning, just a little bit, and your body's like, and that's the reward that keeps us going. So
Betray.
as a mother,
Stop. Stop.
that's the desire
Exactly.
that you're going to keep you going in the right direction. And when your kids are responding the way, I mean, that's what you want for your kids. You want them to get off on the right foot. And that very subconscious in our lives. So if you're not starting it with your kids now, where it's second nature when they're adults, especially if they have something like autism, and if your mom, when moms pass on and dads pass on, you want them to be set up in the world where they're going to be successful. So to start now, it might feel hard. You might think that you don't have it in you, but for your kids' future, you really need to get them on this lifestyle, and that should be all the drive that we need.
Okay. So what you said is, since this question actually, I did a survey a few months back in some of the big autism communities, and then the first problem, not problem, the first question what that comes and swirls around autism mom is or parents is, what will happen to my kid when I'm not around? Well, so if you are staying up all night thinking about this question, the first thing that you can do, and that won't cost you any money, is change your diet. Why? Because as she said, as I also keep saying, it's first of all, it's not how much you make, it's how you budget things. And then second of all is having some real great focus on what you are actually buying and what you're not buying. So calculate and add up that the things that you are not buying and get that money and then put it in something that you are going to buy, which is going to help you and your child. And the third thing is mostly about mindset, is making the decision and then sticking onto it for some time until the body recognizes the difference. That's when we are hooked. And then later on, we actually don't want to do it because we know how bad it feels when we do it. So when you try the diet change route or supplement and detox and everything in between, then when you are shifting your child, you see the difference. You yourself will not want to feed your child pizzas and burgers and things like that. You know what? Because you will get the hit from your child sleeping well, behaving calmly, calling you like really lovey-dovey. A lot of the kids actually don't want to communicate with us. They want to just stay separate and things like that. So your child will be very much attached to you, very much connected to you. So what you will feel like, I don't want to lose that feeling. Hell no, I don't want to eat pizzas, another burger or nothing. The way that he is, I enjoy it too much. I do not want to, you know, jinx it. Okay. So once you start the journey, keep doing it for some time. Any kind of healing, be it physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, you know, all the four quadrants of life, even if you want to do any sort of healing, that has to be done for quite some time until you get used to it, until your brain gets used to it, your body gets used to it, and then it just becomes secondary, like closing the eyes or brushing your teeth at night. Otherwise, you can sleep so you didn't brush your teeth. It will be like that. It will be as easy and as natural, right?
Yes.
The network connection is not that great, I guess. Can you hear me properly?
It's crackling in and out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Do you have tips for us for making parenting easier while taking
See
care
if
of
I can read it.
ourselves? Because can you hear me?
It keeps cutting in and out.
Oh God, do we have to cut and then come back? No. All right, give me a moment and let's see what's happening here. Can you hear me now?
Much better, yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So the next question is, how can we make this easier for us? Because we are special needs parents. We have kids on the spectrum. Life is already complicated. How can we make things easier for us as taking care of ourselves and also being a parent?
To make it easier,
Yeah.
I guess forgiveness. Forgiveness for ourselves because we're human. You want to make a goal, you want to make a plan. You always got to keep that in mind. But what makes us give up on that is when we start the negative self talk slip up a little bit, and forgiveness for yourself because one step forward, two steps back. Well, that's, some people call that dancing. So if you're creating a goal for a healthier life, just like anything, like they say, if you want to quit smoking, it's 7 attempts to quit smoking before you actually quit. When you want to get healthy, it might take 7 or 8 attempts of trying to be healthy before you stick to it. So I know too many people have one little slip up and they throw it all away, and that just makes it a lot harder to come back. So just have forgiveness with yourself. It is a journey, and do what you can to enjoy it and make it enjoyable. It's a learning experience, and food. Go easy on yourself because it's an addiction. It's the first thing we're exposed to. People use it for emotional comfort. So just go easy on yourself, and every day you wake up, you make the healthy choice. And if you have a slip up, well, there's always tomorrow.
Mhm. Okay, so we have a
It's got to be
interesting
processed.
comment here. Uh-huh. Okay. So we have an interesting comment here. Somebody says, since having Lyme's disease, I have unrelenting carb cravings. So even after weeks of absence, any suggestions for that? What she does now is she tries to manage her symptoms with fasting. But is there any other way of letting go of the carb addiction or carb craving?
Are you is with the Lyme disease? Are you on a steady prebiotic probiotic supplement twice a day, morning and night?
Mhm.
So prebiotics, prebiotic, applesauce, blueberries, bananas. You need to feed probiotics so the probiotics can help go after all of that. And even me with fasting, probiotics are long time fasting. We use that as a trick when you're having hunger cravings. You take a probiotic with some water, it's going to buy you a couple hours. So it's great for cravings. It's the candida in there controlling your brain to make you think that you want it because that's how they survive. They literally make you crave it because they need to. Probiotics and the prebiotics, they're going after those. They will the cravings will subside because even with you're still in there for a few days, and like anything,
Mhm.
they're going to get stronger at the fear of absolution. So without a detox
Uh-huh.
regimen or a probiotic regimen, if you're eating carbs, sometimes you have candida. So without a candida cleanse or a continual support with the prebiotics, probiotics, you'll continue to get those cravings. But specifically with the Lyme disease, you want to be on a steady probiotic, prebiotic supplement daily, twice a day even.
Mhm. Okay. Because we also do a lot of make sure that we have a lot of prebiotics in the diet, as well as probiotics as a food itself, and also as supplement to make sure that we get all the or maximum amount of probiotics in the food, and also make sure that the environment itself is conducive to it. I have, since studying neurological disorders as well as studying neurolinguistic programming, I have come across more more solidifyingly, I would say, that our emotional health is as important as our physical health. Okay, so just focusing on the physical health itself won't do the trick. Your emotional health needs to be on par as well. Because if you are sad, if you are depressed, then that emotional energy as well as those hormones that are creating those imbalances will also affect your physical health as well. So not just the food, you have to take care of your emotional and mental health as well. Okay, so we'll go to the last question of today. I am very sorry if our broadcast is not really smooth today because we are having some technical issues. Okay, and so our last question to Catherine. Can you hear us properly? You just froze a little.
It's cutting in and out a little bit.
Okay, so our last question today is there any shortcut to good health? And if so, how can we do it?
A shortcut to good health. Um,
As if,
can you quantitate? No, there is no shortcut. There is daily practice and daily practice and daily practice. Yes.
daily practice, and daily practice. A lot of us, we think just buying a supplement or buying a few supplements will do the trick. So for those, I actually asked this question to you because I feel like sometimes when we hear it from just one person, our brain might not accept that as real information. So we need to hear it from different perspectives to for our brain to really accept it, for our mind to really accept it that there is not real shortcuts. Okay. Well, somebody says
So
shortcut. Fasting will speed things up.
yeah, practice makes
Fasting does help.
progress.
Fasting, guys, I'm saying fasting. Practice makes progress. And for those of us who are thinking about changing the diet and feeling overwhelmed, I have a few reminders from Catherine we had today. So the first important thing that she mentioned is our mindset, to accept that we are our and our kids' best advocate, to not take things at face value. So whenever we are going to the doctor and then we are asking about food or supplement and then we are being laughed at, then we either change the doctor or we do our own research and bring the research with us, saying because doctors usually say that there is no research, but there are research. So you can find the research on PubMed or Google Scholars and then take this research and shove it up his face and then show him there are research. Will you help me or not? Okay. And then the next thing is to take things slowly and steadily, because it takes some time for our body as well as our brain to accept the changes that is happening. Okay. If you try something for a few days and then give up, you won't be able to see the difference. For you to see discernible difference in your body or your child's body, you need to follow that for some time. And the fourth thing that she said is, before you try something on your child, try it on your own. Eat the same food, take the same medications, take the same supplements, and you see for yourself if it's working or not. Because definitely your body will be able to discern the difference between that. And the last thing that I can remember is, there is no shortcut to health. It's progress, not perfection. Is that it, Catherine?
That's right.
Okay. So I did not ask this question to you before. I mean, send this to you before when we were talking. I want you to, because the holiday season is coming up, okay? And then all major companies and things, they are giving holiday discounts and holiday bonuses. So if Organo, because Organo products, I really love them, I use them, and you use them and you swear by them. So since they help in our gut health and things like that, do you guys are you guys going to have any holiday sales or anything like that you want to share with our clients and our audiences?
They have like you get discounts on buying like 3 packs and stuff like that. We do have an amazing discount on like a wholesale membership, much like Costco. That is how I signed up. The membership's for a year. It's $50 for the membership, but the membership does go on sale throughout years. I pay $15 for my wholesale membership, but you're getting almost 40%
Wow.
off. And myself, that's how I started sharing with my friends to offset the cost of me buying the product for myself. So I order it. I one of my neighbors buy
Ah,
it from me. A girl down the street that helps me get my product. And then they have like beautiful
wow.
gift sets. But yeah, it's beautiful to give the gift of wellness. So I give everybody this last Christmas and this Christmas. It's a good thing to share. So anything that we have
Yeah,
like a
love
wholesale
this.
group.
Okay. So I would like to request you to post some of the, because maybe this is too early, because this is just 13th or 14th of November. So if you guys have any Black Friday sale or Christmas sale, I really want and urge you to post the link. So if our audiences want to grab those discounts, they can. Okay? Because health should be
Thank you.
accessible to everyone. And then, we are here to help. Okay? Thank you, Catherine, for being with us and showing some of the most interesting points of view on designing our lifestyle as well as diet, and showing us how to take that power back to ourselves. Okay, reclaiming the power. Okay, and thank you everyone for being with us. And sorry again if the connection is not really cool. I'm trying my best to get the best internet and whatnot. I'm in Bangladesh. It's a third world country. Things will be a little slow, but if you love me, you will stay with me, and you guys are staying with me. That shows your love, and thank you so much, everyone. Bye. See you in the
Have a
next
good
one.
night.
Bye.